Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is KidLee, and welcome to Sid Meier's Civilization Beyond Earth. This is the latest game from Firaxis, and the newest in the Civilization series. So in this video, I'll be going over all of the options, we'll be taking a look at some gameplay, and we'll make some comparisons to Civilization 5. So let's go ahead and start with the options for anybody who actually wants to see this. The options are almost identical to Civ 5. You know, you've got things like the single player and multiplayer, quick combat, quick movement, you know, the hide advisor info, the single player auto turn end. Under the interface options, you can choose whether or not to display the score list in single player multiplayer. There's a map drag speed. Video options, you have both regular and advanced. As you can see here, I've got everything maxed out: ultra, anti-aliasing, 8x, MSAA. You've got different slider bars for your audio options, and a local network setting nickname if you choose to go that way. But let's go ahead and jump into some single player stuff, and I will show you what this is all about. Again, it does have full multiplayer. It's identical to Civ 5. So you're able to hook up with your friends over Steam or join random ones that might be open. So we'll go ahead and we'll do a setup game. And so this is your first option screen. You have difficulty. It goes from Sputnik to Apollo, Mercury being the default sort of normal difficulty. Game pace anywhere from quick to marathon, and I will go for epic on this particular demo. And map size anywhere from random, dual, all the way up to massive, and I will go ahead and go massive just so you guys can try and get an idea of the large scale. Go ahead and hit accept on that. So the first big change to this game compared to the previous Civ games is you don't actually pick a civilization. There was some sort of disaster that they are calling the Great Mistake. So the only thing you have to pick from are these sponsors or corporations. Now, some of the former countries or governments, however you want to call them, are built into these. Like, for instance, ARC is considered basically the United States. And you've got like the Pan-Asian Cooperative, the African Union, and so forth and so on. And depending on which one you end up going with, you will get basically some bonuses. So again, if you go with ARC, the covert operations are 25% faster and cost 25% more intrigue, or down at like the African Union, 10% food growth in city when you are healthy. Now, before I actually pick one, I will show you that there is an advanced setup, and again, very similar to Civ 5. I'm actually going to go in here and remove a couple of these sponsors, so there's only 5. But you can go crazy with the map type, map size, terrain, difficulty, world age, rainfall, sea level, resources, and all that fun stuff. And you can pick between your different victory types and then a few other sort of interesting advanced game options. Now, let's go ahead and actually talk about the victories, because this is a change from Civ 5. So you can see that there are 5 different victories. So let me go over each one just briefly here. First of all, you've got Promised Land, which is for the Purity Affinity, and I'll get into the affinities here in just a minute. So for the Promised Land victory, you will construct the Exodus Gate, connecting this new planet to Earth, bringing people from Earth to the new planet. Next up, you've got Transcendence, which is for the Harmony Affinity. You construct the Mind Flower, which merges the consciousness of all living creatures with the planet, so sort of pseudo-avatar-ish. Next up, you've got Emancipation, which is for the Supremacy Affinity. Again, you construct a gate, but this time you're actually sending yourself and your new fancy technologies back to Earth to basically reconquer the planet. And then the next 2 are considered neutral. You've got the Contact Victory, where you'll discover a mysterious signal, decode it, and build a beacon to attract an advanced alien race. and then serve as the ambassadors for humanity. And then finally, like in every Civ game, straight up domination. Just kill everything and rule the world. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the X on this, which will take us back to this particular screen. I'll go ahead and just go with Arc for this particular demo, and we'll go ahead and hit Next. So now we have to actually choose what colonists come with us from Earth on our journey. And you've got scientists, refugees, engineers, artists, and each one, again, has a little bonus. You know, scientists will bring science, refugees +2 to food, engineers to production. So for this one, I think we're going to go, I'll go actually the Aristocats, so +3 to energy and 1 to health in every city. Next up, it says choose spacecraft, but technically you're not really choosing a spacecraft. It's more like what option do you want for the spacecraft, like a lifeform scanner, fusion reactor, or whatever. And again, all of these have a bonus based on what you pick here. You know, reveal the coast on the map, reveal the alien nest on the map, begin with 100 energy. So for this one, we'll do the nest. We'll do the lifeform scanner. Next up, we have to choose the cargo that we bring with us. Raw materials, laboratory, weapon arsenal, and again, more things to actually decide. So I kind of like the weapon arsenal because begin with a soldier unit. If you've ever played a Civ game, you know that's probably a good idea. So I'll go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and start this game. And it'll load in here. Nice little space shot that they've created for the loading screen. As far as loading into the game, I will say this about this game versus Civ 5. It just seems to me like Civilization 5, when you're loading into it, it just takes forever. And this game is definitely a lot quicker, so that's pretty cool. Got our green button, so here we go.
Hello, I am the Advanced Integration and Simulation Resource, or Advisor. I am equipped to introduce you to the basic systems that will guide your development on this new planet. Additionally, I can provide strategic advice based on situations you encounter. How would you like me to proceed?
Thank you, Jarvis. No, Jarvis, I don't need your help at this time. Okay, so basically, we start out here, and we have a big red hex on the screen. So this is going to be our landing zone for our spaceship. So it's basically asking us where do we want to put our initial town. So if we take a look here, we have got some luxury resources here, and there are some space crabs up here, and it looks like we have a little bit of a river on this goofy fungal whatever landscape this is. And just like in Civilization 5, wherever you put your town, you will then extend out about 3 hexes. So if I do it here, 1, 2, 3, I should be able to get the space crabs, get both of these. Oh, there's actually some xenomass down here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I'll be good on the xenomass. I'm just like, it appears that there's a coastline over here, but I'm going to be just short of the coastline, which kind of sucks. So actually, right dead center looks like the way to go. So let's go ahead and click on this. Landing our Fraxis ship. And we are down. So, as you can tell already, it looks very similar to Civilization 5. You've got your hex grid, your non-stacking of units. So let me go ahead and get into the interface, and then I will start to talk about the affinities, which is something I briefly talked about a few minutes ago. So just looking at the interface, all the way up in the upper left is your research stuff. Going across the top, this area here is going to be your resources, and by default you can see or you know what xenomass, floatstone, and fraxite is. Next to that, we've got culture, and culture is the same as Civilization 5. Next to that, we've got health, and this actually replaces the happiness meter from Civ 5. And it does the same thing. Next to that, we have energy, and energy replaces gold from Civ 5, and again does the same thing. And next to that, science is science, and then we've got our turn indicator. Below that is our mini-map. Below that is our score screen. Now on the mini-map there is actually a little eye. If you click on that, it brings up the options to where you can turn different things on and off. If I actually turn everything off, you can see how the map has changed. There's no more hex grids, no more icons, no more anything. Personally, I like all that stuff on. And down below, here's the notification area. Again, identical to Civ 5, where you'll get little notifications, and you can choose whether or not to, end your turn. And these icons, I'll go into that here in just a minute. Going all the way over to the left, if you have a unit clicked on, this is basically the unit information screen where you can move them or have them, if it's a worker, have them build stuff or have them attack or defend or, any of that fun stuff. Next up, we'll actually go ahead and click on the city. And again, the same as Civ 5, you're able to actually buy hexes if you have energy. And you can manage your production and purchase stuff. And we can actually come up here and rename the city if we want. I'm actually going to do that now. This is going to be New Avalon, Avalon. So we'll go ahead and get out of that. So let me get into affinities, because this is one of the big changes for this game. The affinity icons are all the way up in the very far upper left. So the affinities are broken down into harmony, purity, and supremacy. So you might ask, well, exactly what is an affinity? So an affinity, this is your civilization's philosophy for adaptation. So let me just briefly go into what the different affinities are or what they do. So harmony is transforming humanity through gene splicing, genetic modification, and seeking coexistence with the aliens and the planet. So very Avatar-ish. Well, the science people anyway. Next up is supremacy. This is all about augmentation through nanotechnology, cybernetics, and these humans believe they can settle on any world they want. They can do whatever they want and just conquer all. Then you've got purity. The purity civs believe that the new worlds should be adapted to humanity's way of life, and purity focuses on the preservation and glorification of humanity. And then as you're leveling these up, they also have unique units. Well, actually, I should back up and say, basically, your affinity affects everything from your buildings to your units to unveiling unique resources. And then actually up here, as I'm clicking on these, they also have level bonuses. So for harmony, for instance, once I get to level 1, the alien aggression levels return to neutral twice as quick. Tier 3, the units take 5% less damage from miasma. Or 6, units heal in miasma. And you might ask, okay, so what's this miasma you're talking about? If we actually look on the map here, I'll actually zoom in here a little bit. You see there's like green gas fields around. This is alien miasma. And basically, at the start of the game, my troops will take damage and or die if they are left in the miasma too long. So depending on which affinity that you basically go, you can either coexist with the miasma, or you can remove it. And there's actually some stuff in technologies as well to where you can remove it or add it or do all kinds of crazy things with the miasma. So down here in the bottom, there's actually an upgrade units button. The way the units work in this game is different than the previous Civ games. Again, in the previous Civ games, you start out as like a barbarian, and then you're able to level him to like a pikeman, a swordsman, a gun guy, or whatever. This game doesn't have that. It does something a little different, and again, it's based on the affinity. So if we go to upgrade unit, and the soldier is the only one that I have unlocked at the moment. Here in a little bit, I'll actually switch over to a more advanced game, and I'll be able to show you guys some more options. So we start out with a basic soldier unit, and then he's able to upgrade to a marine, which is neutral. But then after that, based on your affinity, it actually changes. Brawler, Sentinel, you know, Centurion, Marauder, depending on the path you take. And all of these guys have different bonuses. Like if we look at just tier 1 here, 10 to strength, 10 to strength, 10 to strength. So that's the same. But if we go over these, the Brawler, plus 40% when not next to a friendly unit, and heals, well, 20 HP damage to adjacent enemy units on death. Or the Sentinel, 30% when defending, and plus 10% per unused movement. Or the Disciple is plus 20% when next to a friendly unit, and a plus 8% per adjacent friendly unit. So it can be a little crazy, but it's some really interesting customization that they've actually added into this. But like I said, I'll jump to a more advanced game here in just a minute, and I'll be able to show you guys some more of that. So real quickly, before I get into technology, because I'm just trying to show you guys all the big changes, is the next thing I want to show you is the zoom level. In Civ 5, you could zoom from about right here to maybe about right there. So in this game, they've changed it up a little bit. You can zoom here all the way out to here. So a much bigger scale. And then there's actually another plane of existence as well, and it's this button down here. You can actually switch over to orbital view, and you're actually able to do some stuff with satellites, and there are a couple of unique units that actually you can actually put in the orbital layer. There's some like satellite cannons and lasers and some fun little stuff like that. So let's take a look at what they have done to the science and research part of the game. As you may know if you've played a previous Civ game, again, you start out as like barbarians basically, and you have to learn like the wheel and farming and everything, and you work your way down a linear path going basically from like left to right, and you work your way to future tech. So in this game, we're basically already at future tech. So you have to develop beyond future tech. And the way that they have done this is they have created this. This is the new tech web. So it's no longer linear. So which direction that you choose to go is completely up to you. Now, one of the devs was quoted as saying, in a normal game, you cannot get everything in the web. So it'd be really interesting to see if that's actually possible or not. But you basically start here in the middle at habitation, and the ones that are purple are the ones that you can basically try and research, and then from there it just branches out. Then each one, as you can see here, has got sub-technologies. So I actually have to pick one now. I might as well just go ahead and get this first tree done, so I'll go ahead and go with Pioneering. I click on it, and it turns blue. And again, like the other Civ games, each technology has got little sub-things under it. So like Pioneering, the trade convoy, trade vessel, trade depot. And physics over here, there's Ranger, observation, and launch complex. So buildings and bonuses and units. So let's go ahead and actually start moving around here just a little bit. I have got an explorer unit here, and then I have a soldier up here. So I'll have one go south, one go north, I think, as a prudent idea. So let's go ahead and move and see if we can do some exploring here, guys. Ah, some space diamonds. Excellent. So we need to choose production for New Avalon. Let's go with the Old Earth Relic, 12 turns, and it will give me 2 culture. Go ahead and end our turn here. Let's try and follow the coastline, I think. Oh, what do we have up here? Oh, gold. Now, gold, would you just call it gold, or would you call it space gold? I don't know. Guess gold is gold on every planet. Got some algae. And again, on, just like previous Civ games, and I did kind of touch on this a little bit, you can see the resource icons on the map if you have them turned on. The little apples represent food. The little sort of orange hex represents production. The little yellow circle represents your energy. So if I go into New Avalon here, my one citizen that I have is working on this tile. So 2 food, 1 production, 1 energy. Let's back out. Oh, there's some aliens. We saw them moving there just for a quick second. Now, I would say from what I've experienced in this game so far, the early stages of this game seem like it's much more difficult than Civilization 5. For a couple reasons. One, the aliens that are running around are kind of like the barbarians, and they are much more difficult to deal with. There are some aliens that are running around out there that at early levels are impossible to kill. And then you've got stuff like the miasma to deal with. And then there's also a new terrain type, which you can see here, and it's actually a canyon. So it's like you could come across like a big gash in the ground, and you have to work your way around it. So just a couple little things they added have definitely made this a lot more difficult. Now the aliens, since this one has stopped... Oh, we got somebody landing. Let's see who this is.
Come, Mr. Haban. The Commonwealth welcomes you.
Ah, the Commonwealth indeed. Goodbye to you, sir. So he landed way down there. So that's another slight change from the previous Civ games. Is in the previous Civ games, when you start the game, everybody's already on the ground, so to speak, and everybody's starting at the same time. In this game, it is not the case. Basically, my Civ was the most advanced, is maybe a way of saying it, so I actually got to land on the planet first. So between turn 1 and turn 50, I believe, the other Civs will finally make their landing. Now, you might think, well, that's going to give them a huge disadvantage because they're starting later. I have not found that to be the case. So they must get some bonuses to actually landing later. Because it seems like score-wise, they catch up pretty quick. We've got some fraxite here. This spot here looks really, really nice for a new town. Right here on the beach. Gold, algae. See, if I put it here. Right, okay, right there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So I can basically get a bunch of resources. So yeah, that's... Oh, is it too close to New Avalon, though? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. So this miasma line right here. 1, 2... I would be sacrificing a couple tiles, but I think it's still worth it. So that's where my next town's going. So let's end our turn here. Quest updated. And you might say, a quest in Civ? What are you talking about, man? That is another new system that they have added. There's now a full quest system. And if I actually bring it up here, you can kind of just get a brief glimpse at what this is. So the quests will come in 3 forms, from what I've seen so far. You'll have random quests, you'll have technology or research-based quests, and then you can actually have affinity-based quests. And some of these quests actually have Mass Effect-style choice decisions you have to make. And whatever decision you make will possibly affect how the rest of the game goes. And when I get the old Earth Relic done, that will actually give me an example to show you guys what I'm talking about with that. So, for now, let's keep exploring. Here's a little ant hole. Little baby bugs. New Avalon has grown. Excellent. Ooh, resource pod. The resource pods are basically the replacements of the ancient ruins. Yeah, see, if my guys fight, because they're basically standing in miasma, so if I fight them, it's gonna be a stalemate. So if they want to come fight me, then I'll take them on, but otherwise I'm not gonna challenge them unless they get clear. Maybe I'll show you guys combat. It might be better to show you combat in the other game. Actually, they just moved to a good position. Okay, so yeah, let's grab this pod here. Inside the resource pod, you found a cache of laboratory equipment from old Earth, made with precision techniques that are difficult to replicate on this planet, providing 24 research. Thanks. It's very nice. And it's still a stalemate. Well, trying to decide, maybe if I go here, I might gain a slight advantage. We will see. Oh, they're running. Ah, never mind. Ah, a newcomer.
Venez, mettez-vous à l'aise.
The friends have landed.
Vous accueille chaleureusement.
Oui, c'est connu. Goodbye, madame. Don't worry, aliens. I'm just hanging out. Not gonna bug you. Uh-oh, there's some bigger aliens. Manticores. Oh, and they're sitting outside on a resource pod. Oh, there's another resource pod down there. Okay, so I'll go south and get that one, and then go north and see if they move. They might. Oh, they're actually moving to me. Oh, dear God. I am just a lowly person who likes to explore. Oh, resource pod, another one. Awesome. We have somebody else up. Now the aliens are in my way. I'll just work my way down and around the ah, darn it. Giant canyon field I cannot cross. And I'm surrounded by giant craters. They have me trapped. Unit needs orders. Don't mind me, aliens. I'm just hanging out. Well, crap. I'm actually going to hold position here. If they want to come and fight me, then I'll let them. I'm going to just do nothing. I'm going to actually fortify my position. What are you doing, aliens? Oh, alright. I can go through that miasma to get that pot if I have to. Now they're sitting on it. You dirty aliens. Alright, so the old Earth relic is done, so we'll have to move on to the clinic. +1 health, +1 science. Sounds like a marvelous idea. So here's the first quest decision. So this is what this kind of looks like. So it says basically our relic has provoked an ideological spirit among our citizens. Some believe the old Earth relic is an instrumental source of solace for the grief of our people that have lost their world. So basically it's asking me, if I leave the old Earth relic untouched, it's free relics maintenance. I can't talk. Let's try this again. All relics free maintenance. Or option 2 is open the old Earth relics to the public, and that's +1 culture from relics. So yes, I will do the bottom option. So quest complete. And I will hold position here. Let's fortify for a minute. Let's go down here. They are maybe moving away. Can I get over here? We will see. Oh, now there's 2 of them. Ah, somebody else is landing now.
The temple doors of the Protectorate are open.
Ah, very nice to your temple doors. Okay, resource pod. Inside the resource pod, you find a basic satellite still intact and enough rocket fuel for it to reach escape velocity. A free solar collector is now ready to launch. Okay, so I can actually show you guys what the orbital layer does. If we go back to, well, let me move this guy. There was another one up there. Let's see if I can get it maybe next turn. Okay, so if we switch over to orbital layer, you see I've actually got a rocket ready to launch. So I'll go launch orbital unit. So it's basically got a giant hex, and it's asking me where I want to put it. So basically this is a solar collector, and this is going to gather me additional energy from wherever I put it. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and put it right over town. So we'll go ahead and launch it, and there it goes. And so now you can see the giant satellite over town, and as we zoom in, you can see sort of a beam of light coming down to the town. Now, the orbital units can only stay in orbit so long before they decay and actually crash back down to the planet. And then when they do, there's actually going to be a debris field somewhere, and you can actually send people to collect parts and whatnot. I don't know where that guy went. End turn. Ah, it appears they're leaving me alone. So I got 3 resource pods, so that's actually a quest complete, 25 to science. Inside the resource pod, you find a collection of good or luxury goods from old Earth, providing 20 culture. So it's like old cassette tapes and DVDs of really bad movies. Okay, next thing that is now a change is this. This is the virtue system. And this replaces the social policies system. As you can see, it's split up into 3 categories: might, prosperity, knowledge, and industry. But you'll see that there's a bunch of tick marks going down this side and a bunch of tick marks going down this side, and it's also arranged into 1, 2, and 3. So basically, as you're picking these bonuses from whichever category you want, you're also going to be getting these tick marks either going down or across. And you see, like, might, it's got these little fists here, or little leaves, or down the side there's these little pluses. So basically, if you get 5 going down or 5 going across, you're actually getting additional bonuses. So as an example here, might, if we get 5 might, then it's plus 5% strength and range strength for all units. Or prosperity is plus 10% growth in every city. So for this one, I think I'll go ahead and actually go prosperity. The plus 10% food retained after a city grows sounds like an excellent idea. So we'll confirm that. And you can now see there's 1 green tick mark here and 1 gray tick mark there. And we'll go ahead and end our turn. Another quest update. So I think without further ado, let's go ahead and I'll switch over to a game that's around 200 turns in, and I'll show you guys some more advanced stuff. So this is my more advanced game. I'm currently at 217 turns. I've got 3 cities. I've got Central here. Here's New Avalon again. And down here is Axiom. So a couple other quick things I'll show you is the game does feature a full trade route system identical to Civ 5, and you can actually see the little trade route markings going here. You have both land and sea options. Now there's a little base here called Far Base 1. This is basically the replacement of the city-states. But in this game, they're called stations, and they're not nearly as advanced is maybe the word I would use, because you can see that it does not have its own border. It doesn't have its own troops or workers. So it's basically just a place that I can trade with or destroy if I chose to do so, based on what I want from them or don't want from them. So right now I've got a trade route going with them, and they're giving me energy, so it's pretty reasonable. So let me go ahead and go to the unit upgrade screen once again, because I told you guys that I would show you some more stuff in here. And again, even at 217 turns, I don't have everything unlocked. So here's the soldier screen, which I already showed you. So here is a ranger screen, and the rangers are like your archers in this game. And we've got missile rovers, and there are gunboats and combat rovers. And again, you can kind of see how things change based on the affinity that you go. Goes from combat rover to armor, viper, lancer, prophet, cobra, dragoon, and redeemer. So it's kind of a neat system. I haven't really had time to dig into it too much, but from what I've seen so far, it's definitely very, very cool. But you can see New Avalon's branching out pretty quick. I've got some workers going. This is what the workers actually look like in this game. They're like guys in like a giant robot suit or whatever. And I've got a bunch of soldiers somewhere. Here they are. Right here. Some of them are standing in miasma right now. There's actually a derelict settlement up here, and I'm marching them north to actually guard this, so then my explorer can actually come out and explore it. That's actually something else that I had not explained to you guys yet. It's another slight change. You'll find different things. So here's actually my explorer. If I click on him, you can see here he's got a red note that says Expedition Modules 0. So you'll find different things on these alien planets, like alien skeletons or derelict settlements or crashed satellites, and you actually have to have your explorer actually go and set up an expedition, and they'll, research it and camp and figure out what the heck's going on with it. But your explorers can only carry so many expedition modules, so every once in a while they have to go back to town and refuel and then go back out. And again, by default, my guy can only carry one, but there are some things in both the affinities and the tech tree that will allow you to carry more. So this unit, I'm actually going to have him move up. Oh, a resource pod. Nice. I'm just slowly moving all my guys up. And you can see, if you look at the resource screen, you see all the -10 miasmas. At the resource screen in the game that I was just showing you, I believe I only had 3. And now in this one I've got, there's petroleum, there's geothermal, titanium. So it seems to me like this game, especially early on, has got a lot more resources. Alright, let's move you up. Everybody needs to head to the derelict settlement. You can grab the resource pod. You found a portable reactor and fuel source. 50 energy. Yay! Oh, here's some titanium. If I can find you guys some aliens, I will definitely try and show you some combat. The combat is identical to Civ 5. I don't see any aliens around. I already killed many of them. But you can see my guys are slowly losing health. They're losing basically 10 a turn by standing in that miasma. So this guy's actually in a good spot. I want you to actually just fortify and heal. Like I said, we just need to sort of guard that that settlement there. That is the master plan. Oh, somebody has created a wonder. Good for them. Let's see, have you move over there. Oh, more space diamonds. One of my towns is starving right now. I'm in the process of trying to fix that. Okay, so he got back to town. He got his expedition module. So I need you to head up here to this settlement. I actually want you to move there. 5 turns. And in this particular game, I am going with Harmony. Trying to coexist with the planet. A little bit, anyway. Okay, so I just got that geothermal vent done over here. So I need to move you down here and get this float stone captured. Let's see, I need to find a spot that doesn't have miasma for you. Same with you. I think we've got this pretty well protected. Choose production and central. All kinds of stuff we can be doing. My health is actually in the red right now, so it basically means, again from Civ 5, it means your people are not very happy. But I don't think I have anything that will actually increase my health right now. So, don't really need the rocket batteries. We'll go Alien Preserve. And next turn up. Ah, adopted another virtue. So, let's see here. I've been working down the prosperity tree pretty good, and then I've been switching over to knowledge. What do we have here? Earn 45 research science from finishing expeditions, or earn extra culture equal to 30% of net provided health. Don't really need any combat stuff because I'm doing minimal fighting. Or I could jump way down here. See, here's one I was talking about. The Explorer units can build 3 additional expeditions. Ooh, that would be nice. 7 to health way down there. That would be very nice right now. Should I keep going prosperity? That is... What's my next bonus? 1 health for every city. Yeah, maybe I should. Alright. Pioneer Spirit it is. And the worker wants something to do. You need to move here, pal. And I need you to build... Oh, I can't do that yet. Well, I'm working on terraforming. It'll be done in 3 turns. So you know what? I want you to just sit there and do nothing then. I need you guys to heal, and you guys to heal. Next turn. But as you can see, the game is basically very similar to Civilization 5, but with all of these added extra things. I definitely like what they've done to this game. It's definitely way more polished out of the box than what Civ 5 was, and overall I've definitely been enjoying it. As I said, the early game seems much harder than Civilization 5 with the extra things they've added with the miasma and the varying alien difficulty. But yeah, I definitely give this game props for what it is doing. I can't wait to see what they do with expansions, because the Civ games always get better when they add expansions. And this one is already going to be really strong out of the gate. So it'll be really cool to see what they do with expansions. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is Sid Meier's Civilization Beyond Earth. I might do another video or 2 on this just for fun. But if anybody has any comments or questions, please leave them below. And with that being said, everybody keep playing, and have fun.